Hey everyone, and welcome to Ricky's Rockin' Reviews. Today I want to talk to you about The Truest Sense. This is the latest short story collection out by Cemetery Gates, and this is by Laura Keating. And she's someone I will be following for sure because I really enjoyed this collection. If you take a look at that, that is some excellent artwork in the beginning right here in the cover, which is really cool. Really reminiscent of the scary stories to tell in the dark. It says that the cover art design was by Chad Whirl. I believe that's how you pronounce it. But anyways, this collection was really cool. And I think that there's something really unique about this. This short story collection has a foreword, which a lot of collections and books do all the time. But I really, really love the foreword. She actually describes and explains what the truest sense means. The title of this book was inspired by a tweet wherein someone said they had been told that their story was not horror in the truest sense. That made me laugh because at the end of the day, at least my day, horror is the truest sense. The sense we've all known since we were pulled howling into the world, wondering what the hell just happened and where we are now. Horror is a genre of questions inviting you to pluck just enough slime out of the unknown to get a good nasty look at it. Did you ever dive down to the bottom of the lake as a kid? Or last week? Who am I to judge? And grab a fistful of stinking mud off of the bottom just to see what was down there? Just to send a shiver down your spine? And as you hold it up, black muck oozing between your fingers, small rocks grating together, you wonder if maybe you can feel something wriggling inside. Maybe something that bites. You don't know, but that maybe, that sense, is the important thing as you send it back, screaming and laughing just a little. And that's a good enough truth, even if it's not quite an answer. That's just like a really cool attitude to have towards horror. And it comes across in her short story collection. So there's 15 short stories here. And I just have the table of contents, and I'm just going to kind of describe what I felt in each story. Like the first half of this collection, I remember being like super, super strong. And then kind of towards almost the end, there's some that are kind of made me scratch my head a little bit, but then it picks back up. So overall, these 15 stories were really, really well done. So final notes on the failed expedition to the Sixth Theater. So this was kind of like a scientific review journal type, not even really story. It just felt like it's something that's like straight out of like a scientific journal about something horrific that happened in a set of caves. And each cave is called a theater. So we go through the 6 caves, hence the Sixth Theater. And it describes these cave paintings and drawings that maybe come to life. And it was really cool. I just liked the way that it was written. Like it was presented like a scientific journal. And I thought that was really unique. So I really like that one. The Kissing Gate is also a really cool story about, I thought it was kind of like an allegory on childhood. And there is a death in your childhood. Like your childhood does die. You become an adult and your childhood dies. Or when you start losing your innocence when you're an adolescent and you become an adult. And I really thought that was a really strong story as well. Forgetting Leviathan, this is probably my favorite in here, I think. This is a kind of like a definitely like beach read, like oceanic horror, which was really cool. And it was told in like, I don't know, it had like a mythic urban legend kind of quality to it, which was really, really cool. And I can't say any more on that one. It just involves kind of like a beached whale, but it's not a whale. And the ocean is a character in this one. I really like that one. It's a hell of a thing, Bill. It's about a mysterious pit inside of this man's basement. And he's also trying to get his heater to work. And I'll just leave it at that. But that's just a really crazy story. I like the attitude in there by the protagonist. He's kind of nonchalant about everything that's going on in his house, which is really funny, but also kind of scary. Date Night. This was a really, really short and sweet horror story, but it was vicious. It's like, I don't know, like Zodiac killer type vibes almost. It's just, oh, it's just wickedly brutal, but very effective. It only needed a few pages to be told. I really enjoyed that one too. Lake Bottom Charlie, this was a really cool one. And it says here that Lake Bottom Charlie was first published in Campfire Macabre Volume 2 by Cemetery Gates Media in 2023. So if you're familiar with that, you'll find that story in there as well. But this was another childhood story about these kids at the dock in the middle of the night, pure black, and they're kind of telling like almost kind of a Jason Voorhees type story where this kid drowned and they dare each other to go see what's down there if he's still down there. And it was really that one really actually got me. That one was actually really like, it just made me feel icky, and I just like, there was a lot of tension in that one. Oh, I like that one. Mine Is Not is a story about a like a famous exorcist who has like this I believe he has like a reality show or something like that. So he's famous, and he goes to help out with an exorcism, and nothing goes to plan there. That was a really cool story too. I wince a lot because there's like just these crazy things that happen in these stories, but it's all in the fun, and it just feels good getting scared. That one has like a brutal punchline at the end. Yellow Birds was another really well done story, and it has to do with these witches who were prosecuted, and now they may be alive and well as these three yellow birds, and they're kind of watching out for this girl. And I'll just leave it at that. They present the things that she needs, kind of like needful things, but they kind of leave these presents for this girl. These birds are also kind of like a guiding light for this girl, for better or for worse. On the Pale Road Home is like a story about a walk home during a snowy, blizzardy night. It's kind of ghost stories. This was a really cool one. Kind of like you're questioning everything until the very end. That's all I say. Recipe cards of Miss Grace Proctor with notes. So this is another unique story in the way that it's told. It's just like a recipe book, like someone had written down recipes in a journal and was adding notes in between all these entries of these different things that she's cooking. But based on the things that are being cooked and on the notes, you can kind of piece together and the dates, you can kind of piece together something that's happening, kind of mischievous, kind of malicious. And that was really fun. We Are Giants. This is a straight up Jack and the Beanstalk type of fairy tale horror, which was really cool. This one was kind of emotional, and I thought this had a perfect balance of like the fairy tale and the horror. It's cool. When You Reach the Lighthouse. I really like this one. This one's kind of like from the point of view of a murderer, maybe. And I'm a sucker for lighthouses. And I just really like the atmosphere here. I can basically feel the salty air, and I can hear the waves. And just the thing that this person was doing in here was kind of off the rails. Really cool story. The Quiet Yard. This was one that I just like, I think I connected with this one personally, because this is all about a guy who's just trying to get his work done, and he's trying to find some peace and quiet. And the lengths that he goes to find this quiet is actually not all that unrealistic. He finds himself in a cemetery, and then there's like a hidden part of the cemetery that he finds. And this one had a really, actually, like, it kind of changed the way I view getting frustrated when I can't find silence sometimes. This one was like a lesson learned for me, I think. And I really like that story. This is the one that I connected with the most, I think, because I'm someone that's always trying to find peace and quiet because I love to read, and I don't like noise pollution. so I just connected with this one. Like I don't know, I can't I don't want to spoil what happens, but this guy just ends up finding the wrong place. I'll just say that. Moon Rocks on Mars. This was about a geologist and these weird happenings that are going around this small town. And this has like a otherworldly third encounters. This is like an alien UFO kind of story. And this one had me scratching my head a little bit. I think this will benefit a reread. In the end, I do realize what's happening, but this one was a little bit confusing, but still fun to try to figure out what's happening. The final story here is Good Time in the Badlands, and this was a story about a family vacation, family road trip. There's a lot of tension in this one. And it's a guy, he's just trying to like spend a couple of days with his family without any cell phones or distractions, and that goes horribly wrong. And it's just like, this was a bonkers one. So it's a really good way to cap off all these stories. There's a lot of different angles to horror in this collection. It's very short. Only 127 pages, but with the 15 stories, it's like you get a really good, it's almost like you get a really good horror meal out of this. You can't ask for much more than what's in here. Everything is just really tight. I didn't feel like there's any fat in any of these stories. You get right to the point, and I really appreciated that. And this is just a really, really cool horror collection, and I highly recommend it. I had a lot of fun with it, and I think it looks really nice on the shelf too. You could put this right with your scary stories to tell in the dark. I think that Laura Keating has a really good finger on the pulse of what horror is, obviously from that foreword that she wrote. And also in the stories that were presented here, I think that she can put on different hats when it comes to the different types of stories that she's trying to tell. And I think she was just really a strong writer. Thanks for watching, guys. Also, make sure to follow me on Instagram. I write all of my reviews there first before I do a video. And I'm also posting stories and previews of what's coming, what's in the pipeline, and just my different thoughts. Funny reading memes and writing memes and stuff like that. I'd really appreciate you guys liking and subscribing, also hitting that little bell for the notifications so you are sure to never miss any of my videos. And also, I really appreciate comments as well because I like to hear from you guys. Thanks, and have a good one.